Man, I'm just sitting here thinking, right? And I'm thinking of the possibilities that I have when it comes to driving a truck. What do you mean, big country? If y'all don't know, I got a new nickname, Uncle BS. What is Uncle BS? Uncle Big Sexy. Thank you very much. But I'm thinking about the possibilities I have with driving a truck and getting my piece of the pie. Hang on, my lens look dirty. But I don't know if that helped or not. But I'm thinking about the possibilities of getting my piece of the pie. Call my YTTA feed, which I'm probably gonna upload before this video. The possibilities for you to gain several streams of income is a reality. It's a reality. The possibility for you to actually get out the truck and still be able to gain good revenue from different streams of income, it's a possibility. So I'm excited. That's what got me going. I don't need no energy drink. I just need the thought that I can do what it is that I'm thinking about doing. And what I mean by that is that, for instance, one of my big things I want to do before I leave this earth is buy land. To me, buying land is getting your piece of the pie. Now, I don't know all the terminologies and taxes and everything else behind buying a piece of land, but I just want to buy me some land. And I was talking with a guy when I was doing my little shoot for the TV show or whatever, and he was like, there's a place in Little Rock, Arkansas that's selling 81 acres, and they selling 81 acres for $238,000. 3 years ago, $238,000 would be like, holy smoke, you know, who has that type of money? But now I feel like that's not a lot of money. 81 acres is a shit ton of land to own. And it's weird how just sitting here thinking like, yo, I can really make things happen. All it takes is for me to work a plan, put a plan together. And I think I was talking to my lady about it, and she didn't do nothing but hype me up more. You know, now I'm not saying Arkansas is somewhere that you want to move, but you don't have to buy land somewhere you want to move. You just need to buy enough land to where other people can farm on it, and you can get a check from that. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, when I was doing my engineer shit, that things that I'm thinking about right now, like owning apartments, owning units, owning homes, owning land, is something that I would never have considered, and that's something that my family never discussed with me. What is some of the, like, if you was to ask your parents if they're still alive, what is the goal in life? What was your goal in life? And they're probably gonna say something generic like to provide, or which is true, or to be happy, which is true. But driving this truck and then moving on to what it is now, y'all know I want to go lease, and I know some people gonna have a problem with that, like, oh, lease, whatever. But I feel like my work ethic, if nothing happens to me, meaning I don't get no accidents or my health deteriorates, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, I feel like I can own land, I can own properties, I can invest my money into things that's going to make my money work for me. And only and I just wish if I had this drive at 22 or 25. I'm currently 37, and I'm just now understanding the possibilities that I have. And it's there. You can do it. There's nobody stopping me from doing that but me, and maybe that car that cut me off that I ran into the back of, if something like that was to happen, or whatever, God forbids. But there's nothing stopping me from doing the things that I want to do. For instance, I was talking to my lady about pension. truck, a lot of, I uploaded a video, was asking you guys about pension. There's not a lot of companies, trucking companies, that have pensions. So sometimes, so it's like now, when I see somebody, they be like, yeah, I've been driving for 30 years. And I look at them like, well, what did you do with your money for the 30 years that you've been driving? Because now you're driving for a company. Are you doing that because you want to or because you have to? You know? That's something to think about now. Because if you can get your mind, if you can get into the frame of mind that you are able to upgrade yourself, and by upgrade I don't mean go from Nikes to Jordans or something like that, or go from t-shirts to Gucci. No, fuck all that. I'm talking about going from somebody who had nothing to a business owner, to somebody that owns land, not only land but the mineral rights to that land, just in case you might get some oil popping or something, to somebody that can afford to build homes or buy houses or buy apartments. You know, pension is a big thing because it's like, you need to start thinking about investing into your retirement. You might not make it to the age to where you can retire, but at least you will have something to leave behind to the people that you care about, your kids, your old lady, your husband, you know, whatever. But it's like the money that you make here, stop looking at it like it's nothing. Stop looking at it like it gives you the power to buy nice things. Look at it like it gives you the power to not work. I guess that's how I'm trying to say it. It gives you the power to invest in IRAs, invest in a pension, invest in the stock market if you want to, invest in gold, invest in silver, invest in lands, invest in minerals. It gives you the ability to get the things to where you don't have to work. My end goal is to drive this truck, go lease. Once I go lease, get money, buy a truck, run that truck, eventually maybe get my own DOT, run under my own DOT, drive when I want, go where I want, and then get out of that truck. I'm not trying to be in the truck for 30 years. I am not trying to be in the I'm not trying to be like one of those people like I've been driving trucks for 30 years and don't have anything to show for it. I think a lot of people that do drive trucks, that have been driving trucks 15, 20 years, have something to show for it. I feel that if you've been driving trucks for X amount of time and you got your plan together, by the time 10 years roll around, you should be debt free. The only thing you probably paying for is a mortgage, which if you use your money right, your rental properties will pay for their mortgage as well as yours. You should own land. Land is important to me. Buying fancy cars, like look, I got a Beamer or a Lexus or whatever. That's not my thing. That's not my thing. Do I like new cars? Absolutely. Will I buy a new car? Hey, depending on how I work the system, I can buy it outright, or I could buy one car from the auction that's nice, and then I can go lease and write that lease off under my business account. That's the that's the things that I would have never even considered 2 to 3 years ago. That's the frame of mind that I'm getting into. It ain't that somebody might have sparked it or nothing like that. It's just that I take that back. I know exactly what sparked that. What sparked that is that 1 week I worked for Interstate. That 1 week I worked for Interstate where I grossed 6,000, brought home 3,000. That's what sparked this. And it was like a lighter. Sometimes you gotta swipe that lighter a few times in order to get that spark. But when that flame is going, just nurture it. That's a daydream that it's okay to get lost in. That's a dream to get lost in, because that dream can definitely become reality. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna make $3,000 every week or anything like that, but the possibility is there. Not only the possibility for me, you can watch Chasing Andrews. He had a run set up before all that shit happened with Interstate. He had a run set up to where he would gross 5,000 or 6,000. So that means he was gonna be at least bringing 2,500 to $3,000 or more or less home. The possibility can become reality, and that's something that I've never expected. And that's something I never thought of, and that's something that I'm not prepared for. But I'm getting prepared. And the first part about getting prepared is mental. You gotta learn. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not on here looking at wealth videos and tax videos and different things like that, because I'm the type of person that I need to be in it to get it. Once I'm in it, I get it. But if I'm on the outside looking in, I'm dumbfounded, because I don't understand what they're talking about. When I started with Swift, and I'm looking at people talking about, I know the video's kind of, you know, I don't know what this on the windshield is. Hang on, let's see. Where's my window cleaner? Oh, shit, it's right here. But the possibility is there. The possibility is there. And this video is to spark that thought process in you. All right? I want you to have that thought process that I got of the possibilities of the end game. What is the end game? You're making this money. You're out here learning this business. What is your end game? Do you have an end game? Or do you want to be driving trucks for 30 years on purpose? Or do you want to be driving trucks for 30 years just because you want to? You know, oh yeah, I got me a dedicated route going from here to here and back. I'm home every day. That run pays me $4,000 a trip. You know, and that's more than enough that I need to live on. That's how I want to be. I want to drive this truck, learn as much as I can about taxes and business, and then become like a freight brokerage. Like I said on my live feed, I want to be in Cabo with a smartphone or a laptop, push a couple of buttons, and just make me a couple grand just like that by giving other people work to do. That's my end game. What is your end game? You're getting into this for a reason. The reason being is you want a career and you want to make money. Regardless of what everybody say, it's because I love it. I love it too. And if I love it and I can get a bigger check, I'm going for that. I like YouTube. It's awesome that YouTube is paying me to do what it is that I love. I like to talk, I like to entertain, I like to be myself and do what I do. And this is what I'm telling you. Stop thinking small. Stop it. Think small in the beginning, okay. But after that year and one day and you want to move on to greener pastures and do what it is that you want to do, you need to think bigger. You need to think bigger. And a lot of people are going to have situations that's going to stop them from pursuing the opportunities that are available in this industry. And that's perfectly fine. You could be afraid to lease because you don't want that responsibility. Perfectly fine. You want to go local because you want to be home more with the kids. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But this is for the people that want to dream big. Because that dream that you have, as large as it might be, it can come to fruition. It can come to fruition. And God damn it, if you don't do it, I'm going to do it. And you can watch my YouTube channel and watch me get it. It's going to take me a little time. It's going to take me some time. But as long as I got a plan together, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. I want you to stop thinking small. I want your better half to stop thinking small. Right now, it's okay if you're new to the industry. All you can think about is paying your light bill and your water bill and the rent and the mortgage. But eventually, doing what it is that we do, that's going to become second nature, and you're going to start to see your bank account grow, because you're going to start spending your money on BS, and you're going to start spending your money on things that can better your family the long way. And what I mean by the long way, okay, here, I'll give you an example. This is just a scenario that was running through my mind. Let's say, matter of fact, I'll let y'all do the calculation. Let's say you You work the load board, the freedom board, choice board, road runner, Landstar, whatever. You found you a dedicated triangle. Meaning you go from here, from A to B, from B to C, and then back home to A, right? And that pays you X amount of thousands of dollars. You gross X amount of thousands of dollars, and at the end of the week, you're usually bringing home $2,000 to $3,000 or maybe even $4,000 a week, and getting home. That's a possibility. $1,200 a week is a possibility. Now, if you can learn how to manage that money, meaning you learn your taxes, you learn your IFTA, you learn your 1099, and you understand what an S corp is, an LLC, you can come out here and make things happen. You can do it. I'm gonna do it because I have the work ethic. But I got the work ethic, and I got a better half that's good with paperwork. Sometimes it might take a team. Now, you're going to want to learn everything yourself, but if you got a better half that's good with that paperwork, that's on it, you're gravy in the game. That's all I'm going to say. You gravy on biscuits, baby. You just as smooth and just as tangy and tasty as possible. But, look. Stop thinking small, start thinking big. The end game is to live comfortably with the least amount of bills possible. And how do you do that? You start to make your money work for you. If you can figure out how to buy you X amount of units, you know, and then let those units pay for your single family home, and then you can flip that single family home and go buy more units. Now that unit, the first unit you bought paid for your single family home. You sold the single family home to go back and buy some more units. Now all those, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to relay the message that I want to relay. But all I'm saying is, people, is if you're getting into the trucking industry, you got the possibility to have the sweetest life possible, and you can do it in the least amount of time by driving a freaking truck and learning to understanding how to hold that money. You make 100,000. Uncle Sam says, you need to give me X amount of percent of that 100,000. But because you have learned the tax code, or you have a financial advisor, you know, bang, you're gonna write off $80,000 of that $100,000. Now Uncle Sam is like, oh, well, you technically only made $20,000. You pay taxes on $20,000. Again, I am a rookie. Did I explain that correctly? Maybe, maybe not. That's how I'm thinking about it. You can go and buy land and write it off. I'm assuming the maintenance on that land, if you buy it under your business account, you can build a house on that land and write it off as a tax expense because it's your office where you do your business at. Oh, one of the things that we was talking about, I was saying that if I had the money, I would start buying land in Detroit. Why would I start buying land in Detroit? Because what's going on in Detroit, they make it is one thing, but it's a totally different thing in my mind. It's time for conspiracies, people. What they're doing right now by saying, you know, the pipes are messed up, the water is killing people, is if you don't have any water, you don't have a civilization. That's the one thing you need. You need water. You can find substance. You can eat a rat. I'm not saying I want you to. All I'm saying is you can. But you need water. And what happens when there's no water around? People move, they leave. GM shut down. They're retrofitting Detroit to blow up. And I don't mean like boom. I mean like economy-wise. Watch within the next, I'm gonna say 8 to 10 years at the max. Watch what happens with Detroit. Because all the people are moving out. They retrofitting all the pipes in order to accommodate a bigger civilization, you know, a bigger economic whatever. And if you buy the land up there, because the land's probably going for dirt cheap. It's probably going for dirt cheap. I will buy the land, I will tear down whatever crack house or whatever is on that land and just let it sit. Just let it sit. Then once they get done manipulating the system, meaning getting all the people out, gentrification, then they're gonna be like, well, you got all this land over here in Detroit, dirt cheap, company's gonna come back. Elon Musk probably build a freaking battery factory on it. And guess what? You own that land. So that land you bought for $2 grand, $1,000, because you know it's going for cheap. Guess what? You can pay me $10,000. You can have that acre of land. But I own 15 acres of land that I bought for $15,000 in the tax lien or whatever. And guess what? You multiply 10,000 by 15. You done came up. You spent 15,000. I don't know what, 150,000. I don't know. It's a lot of goddamn money for land that you don't even. You just go up there and bulldoze it. You know, and you're making the money you're making the money to do that. Matter of fact, somebody do that. Google an acre of land in Detroit and see how much it's going for. That's what I would like somebody to do. I'm gonna do it myself. Google an acre of land in Detroit and see what it's going for. And if it's going for anything less than $2,000, it's a deal. Because I guarantee you that land that you own, you might have to pay minimum taxes on it. You know, again, I'm a rookie. I don't know how to own land yet. Of course, that'll be a YouTube video coming in the future. But I don't know how to own land yet. But what does it take to maintain that land? You know, can I pay somebody to cut the grass once every 6 months? Or how much I have to pay in taxes? Or can I split it up in 2 payments? You know, like my house, I pay maybe $2,000 in taxes a year. Maybe. But my house is all in some legal shit, so you know they can't technically. It's appraised at maybe $450,000 to $500,000, but they can't mess with it because it's in a trust. And at the trust, I think it was worth about $200,000 at the time or something. It is some technical shit. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you gotta have an end goal. I tell you guys to come into trucking with a plan. Come into trucking with a plan. Once you get into trucking with that plan, execute that plan. And then as you execute that plan, you learn the industry. What you need to learn then is what you're gonna do once you have executed that plan. Once it's okay, I want to go company, Swift. I want to go lease, Interstate. I want to clean up the credit, personal credit done. Establish business credit done. Learn what a DBA is. Okay, I know what that is. Now I know how to do business as. All right, now what I need to do? I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this. Then at the end of the day, when all that stuff is done, now the end game is to find streams of revenue to get out the truck. That's all I'm saying. And the possibilities are endless. I want to open up a gluten-free store and a gluten-free restaurant. Because now gluten-free is a big thing. People are realizing that they got gluten allergies. Guess where they got to buy their food at? A little section in Walmart or Target or Kroger's or Piggly Wiggly's or whatever the name of your grocery store is out there. You know how big that'll be? I'm giving y'all jewels. So if you already got the money to start it, all I'm saying is you can make a lot of money doing that. And in a gluten-free restaurant, because anybody that deal with a better half that is gluten-free, you obviously know they got to ask for a separate menu that has 8 items on it. You know? But that's a possibility. What I'm saying, it's a possibility that I can do that. The possibilities are endless. All you need to do is learn the industry and learn the tax code. The industry you're gonna learn by going through it. The tax code you're gonna learn by doing it. You're gonna get something here. You know, did you know that if you do a regular W-2, you can write off $500 or less as donations to a church. So if you made $35,000 that year, guess what? I just took off money that you would have to give to Uncle Sam that you can put back in your pocket. Now, can you write off more? I don't know. I don't want to test it because you get too big, they start looking at you. But $500 or less, bang, there you have it. Did you know that? I'm pretty sure some people gonna be like, yeah, you can write off this amount or that amount. That's just something I didn't know. And that's just something I wouldn't even consider. Why? Why wouldn't I not consider that? Because I was never in the financial frame of mind to even care about that. It was just something that I did. Somebody told me one time, I did it. And now I do it every year. You know, now don't go doing that and then when you get caught, you come back and be like, well, TRB told me. No. But the possibilities in this is endless. And that's all I'm trying to get across to you guys. Is the possibilities with doing this is endless. You just gotta keep your nose clean, take care of your license. That license is your ticket to get your piece of the pie. It is your ticket to get your piece of the pie. And what's the piece of the pie? You need your foundation, which is your land. Then you need the gooey insides, which is the money. Then you need the crust, which is what you're gonna do with the land. Put houses, fucking have cows. Like I wanna sit down, I wanna buy cows. I wanna have cows on my land. Chickens and goats, let them run free. I'm gonna burn their ass with the goddamn marker thing. So it'll say TRB, I have a TRB logo on my cow butts. So nobody try to steal my cows. I want to ride around on my lawnmower with no drawers on in my overalls and sip, you know, mojitos. Y'all can talk smack about mojitos all you want, but let me tell you something. You get drunk and you have fresh breath at the same time. You can't win. You can't lose with that. You know, some people is passionate about truck driving. I'm passionate about what I can do by driving trucks. It's TRB. I hope I got my point across. I hope I did. Not only that, listen, if you are a daydreamer and you daydream about the possibilities of what you can do by maneuvering in this trucking game, then make a video. Because that passion that you have for the accomplishments that you can achieve can rub off on somebody and it can spark something, and next thing you know, things that they never thought about, they will start to daydream about. And then once they daydream about it and they get that sensation of that feeling of that'll be nice, then they'll learn how to do it. And then once they do it, hopefully they'll pass that knowledge on to somebody else of how they did it. And then that somebody else will learn how they did it and do it better, and then pass it on. It's a beautiful thing, people. That's all I'm saying. It's a beautiful thing. Especially, I know I said I'm gonna leave, but look, sacrifices that we're making out here, being away from our family, having a better half that understand why we're away from our family, and then to see things that can happen, and then making things come true, come to fruition. It's an unbelievable feeling. And I'm going to describe that feeling to you once I do it. I'm going to describe that feeling to you once I do it. It's TRB. Y'all be easy.